I hear the music jump a little bit then? I think my music jumped a little bit then, didn't it? How unprofessional. We must do it again. Maybe it jumped, maybe it didn't. Might just be my ears. A very good evening, gang. Welcome to United Kingdom Talk. Yes, it's Tuesday Night Live here at Reach On Air.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach On Air.
Evening, my darlings. Actually, just while that piece of music was playing there, I've just got a text from the doctor. We better see it if it's very, very... Dear Mr. Reardon, please follow the link below for urgent information. Forthcoming Ringmead and Sandhurst practice merger. There's lots of mergers going around at the moment, isn't there? Indeed, our local Catholic church is about to do a merger with two other parishes. It's going to be Bracknell, Wokingham and Sandhurst. And they're all joining up. And I think there's only going to be one priest looking after all of us. For, well, two reasons, really. I think, to be honest, they have real trouble getting people to be priests now. Plus, of course, the congregations aren't where they were. You know, when I was small, we had masses at our local church in Roehampton, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6 and 7:15 on a Sunday. Now there's two. 11:30, I think it is. Or there might be three, actually. 9, 11:30... and 6 o'clock at night, and that's it. But it's just how it is, you know. It's a shrinking thing. Lots of mergers all over the place, isn't there? Anyway, very good evening to you. Chris Reardon with you for the next 2 hours. Thanks so much to Dave Squires. He was on before me, and he's on after me. I feel like a piece of unwanted meat in between two of your pieces of bread, Dave Squires, at Reach On Air. Am I... Probably a little bit of gone off meat or something like that. It's quite warm in here at the moment, I must say. I've had a nice day. We've had a couple of thunderstorms, actually. There was one early this morning where I am here in Bracknell, in Royal Berkshire. And then there was a little bit of a break just after I finished the radio show in the morning, which was handy. So I managed to walk up to the swimming pool. And then my mate met me up there. He was already in the pool, and he was going to Hungerford. You may remember Hungerford is sadly famous for only one thing. When someone went mad with, was it a knife or a gun? I think in the 80s or the 90s in a little school in Hungerford. And the funny thing is, I wasn't going to go, but I decided to go with him. And driving through there, you know, often you see in the newspapers when you get news items like that, and the old saying, and people say, "Oh, can't believe it's happened here. It's such a quiet little place." And we were driving through it, and it's a largish town, but indeed it's somewhere perhaps where you wouldn't expect something like that to happen. Do you know what I mean? It was just fairly reasonably quiet. There was a lot of shops up there, people walking around, but quiet in comparison to perhaps walking through King's Cross in London. Completely different. And you go through this most beautiful countryside on the M4 and all the way to Hungerford. And anyway, we got there, and we got there a little bit early, so we decided to have something to eat. And we found this, we went in one restaurant, and he sat down. He said, "I fancy the full English breakfast. What are you having?" So I looked at the menu, and the vegan full English breakfast included vegan black pudding. And, you know, I'm trying to think, well, how does that work? What on earth is that made out of? I mean, the idea of eating black pudding has never really appealed to me, to be honest. I mean, it's basically congealed pig's blood, isn't it? I mean, just awful. Not the sort of thing I'd want to eat. It really wasn't. It really isn't. So I saw that, and then also spinach on the vegan English breakfast, and I kind of looked at it and I thought, do you know, I just don't fancy that. And I went down the menu, and there was nothing I fancied there at all. So we ended up, I used the toilet while I was there, we came out of there, and then we discovered this little Italian place, and he's only been open 2 weeks, bless him. There was no one in there at all. No one in there. So we sat in there, and I don't think I really understand how a set menu works, because it said outside on the sign, and a lovely little place. Actually, have I got the name of it here? I recommended it if you're ever in Hungerford. I did have a little card here somewhere. Hang on a minute. Maybe I'll put it in the bin. Where have I put that now? Is that it? No, I haven't got it with me. Oh, that's a pity. It was a nice place. Anyway, so we went in there, and it says set menu, £15.95, two what do you call them, portions, two dishes, I suppose, 2 dishes, £15.95. 3 dishes. It's not dishes, is it? What's the word? Two. So you have either a starter and a dinner, or a dinner and a pudding. That would be like the 2 things. Or you can have the 3 for £19.95. I thought, oh, that's a good deal. So we went in there, and I ordered bruschetta, and the bruschetta that came out was one of the best ones I've ever had ever since I went to Rome years ago. I remember going to Rome with my mate, and that was a nice holiday. We found a place to eat where the Italians eat, which is always the best thing to do. Don't go to the tourist places because they rip you off, charge you an arm and a leg for stuff. Right? Try and find out where the native people go. In the case of Rome, the Italians. And we found somewhere there. Well, this bruschetta we had today was absolutely delicious. Large. I mean, large. There were 3 of those, like, I don't know what they're called, hard pieces of bread, right? Smothered in tomato with some sort of garlic and oil on it. Oh, it was... to be honest, we could have just had that, as a snack. Really nice. And then after that, I decided to have spaghetti arrabbiata. I can never say the word. Don't criticise the word. Spaghetti arrabbiata, which is like it's generally a hot spaghetti, right, with red sauce in it, loads of chilies. And he had some sort of mushroom pasta thing. And then I saw this chocolate pudding thing, and the bloke come over. He says, well, if you want the chocolate pudding thing, it will be 10 minutes. So I'm telling you that because often people order it and say, well, when's this coming? We make it here and now. Nothing in here is bought in except for the ice cream. So, well, we'll have some of that. So I had one of those as well. Foolishly, my mate had offered to pay for the dinner today, and I expected a bill with I'd had 3, so that 20, 30, 40, 42, 43 quid. Because I had a bottle of Coca-Cola, he had 2 bottles of Coca-Cola, and the bill came in at £68. Oh, God's sake. That's just what it was. And if you look at the prices on there, it clearly says what the prices are, so that's what the prices were. But I said, I never comment while I'm still in a place. I don't know about you. Have you ever been shocked by a bill, perhaps? Have you ever been shocked by a restaurant bill, as a matter of interest, or a bar bill? Anything where it involves shoving something in your mouth? And so he paid it, and then as we went out, I said, that's a bit dear, isn't it? He said, well, it is what it is. He often says that, it is what it is. I'm sort of more on, well, that seems a bit dear. And I said, I thought it says outside, it says two courses. Courses is the word. 2 courses, $15.99. 3 courses on the set menu, $19.99. So the way I understood that was that you choose 2 things and it's $15.99. And he says no. He says it's a set menu. So you have what's on a set menu. I said, well, what's that we looked at then? He said, the menu. And I said, well, what's the difference? One's set and one isn't. I don't know. But I was quite pleased not to have had to pay for it, to be honest. But it was a lovely place. As I say, there was me and him in there. And there was another older bloke who came in, and I could overhear them saying, this bloke comes in there once a week to spend a bit of his money. The service in there was excellent. There's one bloke doing the serving, and another bloke doing the cooking, and the service was fantastic. And you often find that in a family-run Italian restaurant. They know how to serve people, almost on the same level as a 5-star luxury hotel like Claridge's. You know, like the Mandarin Oriental. They know how to look after persons. You are paying the money, they will look after you. And they're very, very good like that. It was the same in Italy. You know, this was a bog standard restaurant. We went in Rome years ago. And we were treated like kings. Just basic. Pizzas, pastas, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to go the same for the staff. And over there, we noted that the staff were not treated well. They were like shouting at them and stuff like that, which wasn't too good. But when it comes to us, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. So they absolutely know how to run restaurants, which is the shame that can't be said for so many places that you go in. You know, how many times have you been sitting in a pub? Oh, excuse me, we're short-staffed. Be with you in a minute. And you get spoken to. Who the hell are you to speak to me like that when I'm spending my money? But it was lovely. So we had that, he paid, we come out of there. And the reason we went to Hungerford was because he took his father's clock in there a good year ago, to be honest. And it was to be repaired, dismantled and cleaned up and repaired. And that's basically what this bloke does. And we went into this shop and we were surrounded with old clocks. There was a couple of wonderful grandfather clocks ticking away, chiming in every 15 minutes because we was in there a good hour. By the time we'd finished speaking to him and what have you, I sat down on a chair because I've got a bit of a bad back at the moment. This happened on Sunday. I was kneeling down at church. It was kind of bent over. I kind of bowed down rather than kneel. And when I got up and sat back on it, I felt a little bit of a twinge. And anyway, it's still there at the moment. It's not too bad, to be honest. So I sat down in there, and I was just astounded by all these wonderful clocks in there. And do you remember gent clocks? Gent. You used to see them everywhere in businesses. They're like a silver outside and a white front and black thing. There's no second hand. It just ticks like that every minute. And there were 2 of those on the wall, and I was tempted. 80 or 90 pounds each clock they were. There was electric clocks. There was little mini carriage clocks, tiny little golden things. There were larger ones, even bigger ones. As I say, a couple of grandfather clocks. There was, what surprised me, a tabletop cuckoo clock. Now, I've never seen one of those. I always thought they used to hang on the wall. You know, with the 2 chains. I've got one downstairs. 2 chains hanging down like that. And you pull the chain, which winds up the mechanism. And every hour or every 15 minutes, the cuckoo comes up. I turn my cuckoo. In fact, I don't have it on. It ticks too loudly, and the cuckoo keeps coming out and waking me up. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Not as bad as the pigeons I used to have under my solar panel before I evicted all of them. And I'm just astounded by these clocks. This cuckoo clock is on a tabletop with feet. A little hole at the top. I said, is that a cuckoo clock? He said, yes, very, very rare, that one. I said, I know it is. I said, I've never, ever seen a tabletop or a mantelpiece cuckoo clock. Although, to be honest, you would have had to have a large mantelpiece. You know, it was so big. Do you know what I mean? And then I saw the price of it. £10,900 this clock was. Because it's so rare. And people collect that sort of thing, you see. You know, if you want a cheap clock, you can go on Amazon, get yourself a battery clock for £5.99. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly all right. Nothing wrong with it at all. You know. Or if you want something a bit special, you'd go somewhere like that. £10,900. It wasn't new. He'd obviously got it from somewhere, done it all up, and there you go. And many, many other clocks in between, some dearer than £10,000, some much cheaper. You could get something in there for like 50 quid if you wanted. And it was interesting. While I was in there, my mate was talking to the lady who was serving there. There's a lady works, I don't know if they're related. She works kind of on the little till type affair in there, checkout, and gives information. And the bloke comes in and he does all the fixing and it's his business. And he doesn't rip you off either. Not at all. Because while I was there, my mate also took in 2 like Jewish candlestick things. Sorry, if you're Jewish, don't know what they're called. Perhaps one of you knows what it's called and you can tell me. But they're like, I think there's so many candles in like a semicircle type thing, and an extra one at the top which kind of sticks out. And he took those in there to be cleaned up, 2 of them. And he said, how much are they? And I thought, well, that's got to be 150 quid. 50 quid for the 2. Very reasonable. But he doesn't like to be rushed. He will ring you when it's done. This particular clock took a year. He had to make parts for it. He makes the parts. I mean, how fantastic is that? How talented must you be to do something like that? He makes, if there's a part worn out and he can't get it, he will make it out of bits of metal. Wow. And my mate was in there asking the question because his father's got another clock at home which he doesn't wind up because he doesn't want to wear it out. And the lady behind there, now I never knew this, and I bet you don't know this, the lady behind there said that's the wrong thing to do. Because all these mechanisms in expensive quality clocks, I'm not talking about the sort of thing you get off QVC or Amazon or anything like that, right? Quality clocks that you wind up, no batteries. All these things contain very special oils. Now, when I say special oils, I'm not talking about you take the back off now and again and drip a little bit of your WD-40 on or your bike oil. These are very, very special oils and they are very, very expensive to buy. I also discovered it's not necessarily one type of oil that they put on the cogs, right? Different cogs require a different type of oil, highly specialised. So when you buy one of these clocks, every cog on there, every little bit of movement has got this oil on. If you don't wind it up, the oil kind of sinks. So you've got to keep the thing moving. And she was telling us, if we sell you a clock in here and you keep it wound up, it will probably go for 20 years before we need to look at it again. If you just leave it on the shelf and you never do anything with it, the oil will all sort of sink and dry and then it won't work properly. She said watch oils are even more specialist. And that makes sense because I do have 2 lovely watches that I've got in my living room. One was a present from my mother and father. And I don't know where the other one came from. And neither of them work. And they both those self-winding watches. Neither of them. You kind of moved it and it works a little while. And then it stops again. So probably that's what's happened there. But those 2 watches are at least 20 years old anyway. So that kind of makes sense, But I was amazed at this information that I was given. If you don't wind up a wind-up clock, then that is detrimental to the working of the clock. They are best kept going. A bit like planes, A bit like planes. Or a car. I know there's a lot of blokes on here muck around with cars all the time. You know what happened? You sit that car there for a year. Well, will it start after that? Don't know. And even if it starts, will it move around? My Auntie Brenda, bless her, she had the most lovely BMW. It was her husband's car, my Uncle Malcolm, lovely man. Had a very good job for years in Barclays Bank. And he had a lovely BMW and he died. And she left it on her driveway for years. I mean, for so long that green, moss was growing on the windows. The tyres eventually went down. And this car would have been worth thousands. Really. But she left it. And eventually I think she got a knock on the door from someone once saying, I'm a car dealer. I'd like to buy that off you. And I think they only offered her £500 or something like that. That's all it was worth. I actually spoke to my brother-in-law about that, and then he asked about the condition, so I told him, and he said, yeah, that's about right. Just take the money, a few £100s, because any longer you won't get anything at all. Got to say hello to Battersea Bob this evening, listening here on Reach on Air. Evening, Bob, who says, Geezer, I never knew you're on in the evenings. How can you not know that I'm on in the evenings? I mention it practically every week. Is it for your TikTok? No, it's for Reach on Air. We are on TikTok. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook Live. But it's a radio show. It's for Reach on Air. The other bits are just kind of add-ons there. So thank you, Battersea Bob. I can't believe you didn't know this. God, so is there anyone else on Reach on Air tonight who didn't know I did evenings? Are you not paying full attention to the morning shows, Battersea Bob? Very disappointed. Okay, you get some music as well in a moment or two, all right? Yeah, so that's the clock story, and of course, if I wanted my, I don't know if he did watch this. I should have asked him while I've been there. The repair of the clock was £350, which in actual fact I don't think is a bad price at all to pay, because he would have had to take that clock apart piece by piece. Yeah. I've actually seen, I think, a bloke in it's either China or Japan, one of the Oriental countries. I've actually seen someone on there taking apart a Rolex. And it's amazing what they do. Very, very talented, specialised job. And there he's got that little eyepiece on, and he's got these, like, special tweezers, and he takes the back off on a special machine. You know, none of this. I don't know what some of you are like, changing your batteries in watches, leaving it off with the end of a screwdriver. You know that's wrong. He's got machines, and he pulls this thing down, and this comes off, and then the glass comes off, and he takes the little pieces off, piece by piece, little cog here, little spring there. He puts them in some sort of cleaning fluid, and another thing in this machine that shakes everything up, and then he's got all these pieces laid out in front of him, and he puts them back little piece by piece into the watch, and then he's got these special oils that he puts in there, just tiny, minuscule drops of oil. Minuscule drops of oil. No WD-40. As the woman in the shop was saying that, we get people in saying the clock stopped. We sprayed a bit of WD-40 inside, but it still won't go. And it's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do. The amount of people that put WD-40 on stuff where they shouldn't. Mixers is another one. Audio mixers. DJs that spray, they get a bit of a crackle. You know, when you're moving the slider up and down, what makes the volume go up and down when you're listening to the music or my microphone. You can get a bit of dirt in there, right? And then it becomes a bit crackly. And DJs, and I've seen so-called professional DJs saying this, if you get that, just spray a bit of WD-40 down there. It's the worst thing you can do. It will work for a very short period of time, and then when that WD dries up, it will be worse than before you did it. Do not put WD-40 on audio sliders. What you need is a bottle of compressed air. That's all you want. Compressed air. Spray that down there. Hopefully that may or may not sort it. But there we are, you know. Anyway, a fascinating insight into the world of clocks. I was tempted, I can't lie, by a couple of the clocks in there. There was this clock that looks like, well, I'm sure it was made out of marble. And this one wasn't particularly expensive. It was a couple of £100. It was all marble. It was clearly old. Looked a little bit worn, to be honest. But then again, you know, that's how they are. And that was particularly nice. And some of the old mantle clocks that you would have seen in the 1970s, plenty of those in there. But what an absolutely fascinating place. So that's what we did in Hungerford this afternoon. Anyway, boys and girls, more to come. Let's play you a little tune here at Reach on Air.
Now come on the ground, everybody's looking for you now. And they're hunting you down in your own town. They're trying to chase you out, and who knows what you've done now. Yeah, you look a little thin, I bet you chances. They'd never go for it. Hold your breath for the countdown, yeah, it starts now. I'll tell you when to let go of it. Let go. How could you walk away from me after all of what we said we'd be? Broken beyond repair. I'm the bird around your neck. You go act like you don't know my name. How dare you cast your spell on me? You've been careful not to set me free. I would never turn you down or try and shut you out. Take me back to when I once was your prey. I feel the soil is still warm from the night before. Where we had it out, what was it all for? What was it all for? And I am left with the darkness of your eyes, and we both know it comes as no surprise. Bring me back to life as the lightning strikes. I'm blinded by your yellow light. Your poison is sweet. You can take me however you like. However you. How could you walk away from me after all of what we said we'd be? Broken beyond repair. I'm the bird around your neck.
Welcome along, gang. Yes, indeed. We've got new Reach on Air jingles as well, so we'll have a few of those tonight. Thank you very much. Let's say hello to some of you. Vera's there. Evening to Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Hello to you, my love. Oh, look who it is. It's DJ George Bond. Are you doing gardening now? I think you're doing gardening now, aren't you, George? And we got Dan Woodhouse in this evening. Good evening to Dan Woodhouse. John Allensby is there. Evening, John. Welcome along to the show. Hello to you, sir. He enjoyed the techno remix of the opening piece of music today, didn't you, sir? Thank you very much there. Tom's there. Good evening to Tom. Tom from the gym. He's got a new pair of orange Crocs. I kid you not. Tom has got... I love them. I love them. We do like bright colours. And he was sitting up there on the swimming pool stool, you know, where the lifeguards sit up there. He was sitting on there today in his orange Crocs. Good morning to you, Tom. Did you get some champagne today? No, that's for tomorrow night. Because I'm going to see the ballet tomorrow night, Cinderella at the Royal Albert Hall. Me and my mate are looking forward to. Unfortunately, it's me buying the dinner tomorrow. So I probably won't have champagne if I'm paying for it. Dave Squires is there. Evening to you, Dave. I gather I'm the meat in between your two slices of bread today. You're before and after me, aren't you, today? You can send a text if you want to. There is an exclusive text number to this programme, gang.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Okay, that's the text number if you want to send anything through. 07451 287 337 is the text number. Vera says, my brother thought he could repair my father's watch once. He took the back off and released a spring and everything went flying out. Yeah, I can imagine it. That's the sort of thing I would have done as a child, to be honest. Thank you. Hello to Gary Ross, Mick Davenport, Weird Cities in the house. Evening to you, sir. Kevin Woodruff. Evening, Kev. He was there this morning as well, weren't you, Kev? Welcome along to the show, Kevin. John Parrish in the house. Evening to John this evening. Chris is there. Hello, Chris. Evening to Chris, my little friend Chris. I was just having a little FaceTime with him a little bit earlier on. Did you want me to send you that tissue, Chris? Do let me know your address and I'll pop that in the post for you. All right, my love. Just scrolling quickly down there. Liam Manning in out. Hello, Liam. Long time no, sir. See, Liam Manning. Evening to you, Liam. Welcome to the show. John Parrish says all our clocks were gents. That's right. The silver clocks. Yeah, I think that was the one at our school as well. Used to see them everywhere. Don't see them anymore, do you? Were they battery or electric? And were they all like connected to a master clock or something like that? I don't know how that works. Fun things to do with tech. Spark is there. Hello to you. Darren's in the house. Every week he's there on Facebook Live. Just a reminder, gang, if you're on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, you won't get the same music as everyone else due to copyright restrictions, okay? What I would recommend you do, if you've got a smart speaker there, you can say to the lady in the smart speaker, play radio station Reach on Air. So Amazon, or whatever the name is of it, play radio station Reach on Air, and you can hear the proper music, what everyone else hears, all right? But we're not allowed to do it on YouTube or Facebook Live. Menorah. That's the candle thing, is it? The Jewish candle thing, according to Darren, is called a menorah. So thanks very much for that, Darren. Much appreciated. Emma's there. Good evening to Emma. Where have you been, Emma? I haven't seen you for ages, love. I bet most people under 30 wouldn't know how to wire a plug. I remember when TVs, washing machines did not come with plugs. That's true. That is true. And it used to be different colours. It was green, red and black. Now it's green, brown and blue, isn't it, if I remember rightly? I'm sure that's the case. Yeah, there we are. Hello to Janice, who's just got back from Toby's. Did you have a carvery? Did you? I'll go in there and have the vegetarian stuff. It's lovely. Oh, the potatoes. Aren't they to die for, Janice? The potatoes. Hello to Roy Stone, just joining us there. Evening, Roy. Mick says he thinks they were electric, those clocks that were in the schools. Yeah, quite possibly. I get the opinion that they were all connected to a master clock somewhere so that they all told the same time. It was like that at the BBC. They had like I don't know how it worked, probably worked different now, but there was a master clock and everything was wired. No wireless. Everything was wired back to this master clock so that everyone knew the same time. I'm sure Vera would be able to tell us there. All right. Evening to Matt Joplin, my very, very good friend Matt Joplin's in the house. Evening to you, sir. And Matt says, hi, Chris. Hope you're well watching the show. Shocked by some of the bills at our Christmas meal in the past. And then some people only want to pay £20 of £200 bill. I said this to you, Matt. Let me tell you, Matt is a very, very good friend of mine. I have some very good friends and who I would trust my life to, actually. Matt's one of them. Matt Joplin is one of them. And what he does each Christmas is he arranges a dinner. And I said this to you a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? He arranges a dinner and lots of people turn up for the dinner. At the end of the dinner, the bill is split. And I've never thought this is very fair. And basically, some people take the mick. Some people take the mick, right? And they will sit there ordering bottles of wine, beers, knowing full well that they're not going to have to pay their full share, right? Because it is split down the middle. And I happen to know that Matt has often been left with a bit of a bill that he's had to fork out for himself. He really has. Actually, I must tell you, the last time I was there, and I don't go anymore because I don't. No disrespect to you, Matt, but I don't really particularly enjoy the goings on there. I'm not very good in a big group of people. Funny, isn't it? Isn't that funny? I'm not. I'm all right at work as long as I can be left to get along with my job. I can't be dealing with demanding people. You know, you get some people that they demand. Want. Oh, can you do this? Can you do... I'm not very good with demanding people, and I'm not very good with large groups of people. But that's not, nothing to do with your dinners, really. And I'd been to this dinner. It was before the pandemic, actually, now I remember. And I had the dinner, and it finished, and I kind of went as soon as I had dinner because I could see it was just... We're not talking rowing. I just thought, I'm not enjoying this, really. So I went. And I got on the train, and I suddenly realised I hadn't paid my part of the bill. And as Matt will tell you, I immediately rang him up and says, look, mate, I don't think I've paid my part of the bill. I'll send it to you, or I'll bring it to you next time, or something like that. And he said, no, don't worry about it. But, so that's possible as well. People do forget to pay bills. Did you see that story, actually, Matt, in the paper? I can't remember where it was. This lovely Indian man, he's got a restaurant somewhere. And this family walked in there, ate all the food, and then walked out without paying for it. Isn't that terrible? What a bloody terrible thing to do. People have got to make a living. There's some horrible people around, isn't there? Probably the sort of people that go on Ryanair. Have you seen those? Look that up on YouTube. Ryanair fights. Oh, my God. I would never get on one of those planes. No way in 1,000 years. Vera says it's only the clocks in the newsroom that were connected to all that business. Roy remembers when I bought my clock, this one back here. That's a few years old now. Now and again, the dates get stuck, and I don't usually notice, and someone reminds me. And what I have to do is take the clock off the wall, and I have to go through all the dates. It's a scrolling button on the like a rotary thing on the back of my clock, and you scroll through all the numbers. Doesn't take long, and all the months, and then it starts working again. I think it gets stuck somewhere. Maybe it's dried out oil. Like I said, there's a few of us dried out in here, to be honest, I think. Yeah, I mean, Matt gets like £200, £400 bills. God, that's a lot of money for a meal, isn't it? Good evening to the lovely Ray Reynolds this evening. Evening to you, Ray. Sorry the message is taking a little while to come up, my darling, because I'm in the middle of it all. Evening to Shania on the Isle of Wight. Hello to you, Shania. Beautiful lady. Lovely lady. Roy's still got a clock. He won a clock, didn't you? He won a clock, Roy. Won one of my clocks when we used to do bingo. I stopped. I used to do a bingo show on YouTube, and it just it was great. I enjoyed doing it, but it was expensive to run, and it just didn't build, with numbers. So I had to knock that on the head when I lost interest. Even to Scotty boy, welcome to the show. What have I come into? Well, you can stay or not. It's up to you, Scotty. Just a little bit of fun, really. Just a little bit of fun there. Hello to the lovely Mark Bowles. Fancy a fiddle? Anytime, mate. Anytime. I keep telling you that, Mark. Dear me. Evening to Gary Ross. Shut up, Gary. And Ian Twinkle Toes. You are funny, funny people, I tell you. You are funny, funny people. Janice says your clock dates are like the old bus number system. That's right, yes, they flip over. I love it. Very, very expensive one of those, right? I got that off eBay for, it was either 70 or 80 pounds. New, over 200. Habitat do them. Look them up. I tell you what, I'll have a look. I'll have a look for you. Habitat, hang on. Habitat flip over. Here, 272 pounds. 272, 166, 386 pounds. Wow. Wow. Now that one is, I think that's for, I think that's for dementia people. So dementia flip over clock, because it's big, you see, and they have trouble, don't they, seeing stuff. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, there's one here. What's this one here? That looks similar. Visit. Can we visit that or not? Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a similar one here, but it hasn't got the clock. It's a digital clock, so you've got the date. It's all flip over. There's no analog clock, and that one's 220 quid. So I've got a really good bargain there, and I got that off eBay. eBay.co.uk. Your friend indeed. I've been looking on eBay for electric scooters, actually. You know, because I want an electric scooter next, and that's my next purchase. I don't know if I should wait until next year, because the law is likely to change next year. The UK, just a moment. We are behind as usual. You know, because the wheels of government turn so bleeding slowly here, don't they? While they're all lining their own pockets. Whoever's in government, whichever colour you are, blue or red or green or whatever. Although I haven't seen any green people recently. There might be a few laying in coffins around the place, but I don't know. And there's a lot of cities, as you know, we've just been back from Tel Aviv, and they're very widely used and accepted there. I don't think it can work the same in London because there's just too many blooming people in London. It's an horrible place. I wouldn't want to live there. I think most of London's an absolute dump, unless you want to live somewhere like Hampstead or Chelsea. I think it's a dump. And I am a Londoner, you know. I am a Londoner. And these scooters are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I've been looking around. I've been in a Halfords. I went into Halfords on Sunday and I had a look. And they only had 5 models there. Downstairs. So I had a look at one. One of them I thought, oh, that's good, because I want one with a wide baseboard so I can put my feet together on the board rather than one behind the other, because that looks particularly uncomfortable. And when we were in Tel Aviv, the boards were wide enough on the higher scooters for you to put one foot next to each other, right? So they had one in there, but then it only had one brake on the handle, and the other was this kick thing with your heel. And I don't like that. In actual fact, the one next to it also was similar, with a handle and a back, and the back thing had broken, so they must be quite easy to break, because they're only bits of plastic. So I want one with the 2 handlebars brakes on there. And then one of them in there, well, it went at 42 mile an hour. And I don't think I want something that goes at 42 mile an hour as a scooter. 15 mile an hour maximum, thank you very much. And that's quite a fast speed, 15 mile an hour on one of those. Really is. We were going about Tel Aviv, and whenever we had a bit of a clear cycle path or road in front of us, we opened it up, pushed the little button right the way forward, like a slider button on the handlebars, and you zoom forward, maximum speed, 15 mile an hour. And believe me, that's fast enough. If you come off one of those, you'll probably have a broken arm. Anyway, I have been asking some people around here who I know have scooters, and random people standing outside shops with scooters, basically the same question: do you ever get stopped? I mean, the stupidness of people on Facebook is unbelievable. You know, you put a question up there and they don't actually answer the question. There was 1 or 2 people answered the question. John Parrish was one of them. And the question was, can anyone tell me where I can see some scooters in a showroom rather than all online? Because you never know that sort of thing. I wouldn't recommend you buy it online unless you kind of go to a shop, see what you want to buy, and then look online to compare prices. Then you've already seen it. You know what I mean? You want to touch it, feel it, have a look at it, stand on it. Yeah? So that was the question. Please, can anyone tell me if that? And the amount of people that were just throwing over the legal side of, that's illegal. Oh, don't do that. Oh, that wasn't the bloody question. You know, if they were doing university exams, they would all have failed because they didn't answer the question. A couple of people did. The rest of them were shoving at me the legalities. Don't you think I know that already, idiot? I'm thinking to myself, so I just delete those comments. I can't be asked. I just delete those comments off there. John Parrish was one of the people who pointed me in directions, although actually it just pointed me to a random Google page. I don't know why, but thanks for trying there. Anyway, asking some of the younger people around here, and it does tend to be young people around here, the majority of which are boys. There's a couple of young girls. There's a couple of older people. I don't think I've seen anyone sort of my age there on one. And they all say the same, that they don't get stopped. The only people, there were 3 lads sitting on the wall outside Aldi, and they had one of these scooters with them. So can I just ask you, have you ever been stopped? And they said only once. We were riding up and down in the middle of the road, doing stupid things, and a policeman called us over, told us to be careful and how dangerous it was, and then off we went. Now, my cousin Helen, who lives in, oh God, what is it called now? Not Carl Shorten. Oh God, begins with W. What's round here begins? I can't remember where she lives now. Anyway, that's a different police force. There, they take them off people and destroy them, or at least that's what she says. You know, she may have seen one story in the newspaper. Round here, they don't seem to be that bothered. London, well, we have seen news stories in London where they are taking off people. But honestly, you know, when you see the amount of people that are on these things, how many of those do they actually pick up as a percentage? Is it 90% or 1%? We don't really know. And I think, you know, I tend to be of the opinion, if you're a little bit sensible about certain things like that, and you just get on with what you're doing and you don't bother anyone else, you know, and you're careful with people on the pavement, then, yeah. So I have been looking, you know, I'm still looking at that at the moment. And they go from all prices, from sort of £99 a second-hand one on eBay to up to over £1,000, £2,000 ones you've seen. But these are like, you know, proper professional things, and you can go over in forests and things, and a little bit like some of those Segway things, you know. Segway do actually make one. And I think, to be honest, you'd want to get a brand name, and you don't want to muck around with cheap batteries either. These batteries can and do explode, depending on how they're treated. It's the same with everything, though. A mobile phone battery. Never ever buy the Chinese version, or no, that's incorrect actually, because China makes a lot of them anyway, but the cheap Chinese copy of a proper one. Now, China are probably making the proper ones as well, but they will also make cheap copies, and people buy these things, and you don't realise the danger you put themselves at. And no doubt I'll get a text at some point which says, "Oh, well, I've had one of the cheaper ones for 5 years and it hasn't exploded yet. Lucky you." But they do. And I looked up YouTube videos of some of these things exploding. They don't just go bang. These flames shoot out of these things for minutes. It's like the flames are ejected from these batteries until they die. Because, of course, these things are holding an awful lot of power in there. Very dangerous. And I looked up batteries, and ideally you want a lithium iron phosphate battery. They're the most stable ones. Unlikely to have a problem with those, unless, of course, you hit it with a nail or something like that. And some of these people on YouTube, to be fair, were putting nails in these things. And first of all, you get the smoke. Thick black smoke. Very dangerous for you to breathe that in. Right? And then the flames are shooting out of this stuff. So dangerous, I tell you. But the phosphate ones don't do that. I have 2 large solar batteries in a cupboard, literally meters, 1 to 3 meters from me here. And the cupboard door is open to keep it cool. That is 10 kilowatts of power. 2 5-kilowatt batteries in there. You imagine the damage they would do if they exploded. But they are the phosphate ones. You don't want to be dropping these things or anything like that. Roy says, according to figures, 89 scooters were confiscated out of thousands in London. There you go. Vera says there's a few people I'd like to see ejected. I should think so as well. Vera. Anyway, so that's the scooter story. Still looking around at the moment. No need to rush into it. But I just, when me and my mate went on these things in television, and I know I went on, I don't want to go on and on about these things, but we had such a fun time. It's just not just a method of transport. It's fun. They are fun to be on. And I can see a very good use for these when I go up to the caravan where I'll be next week. Incidentally, I will be trying to do the show next Tuesday night from the caravan. Fingers crossed. Not sure how that's going to work exactly. We might have to just do radio and YouTube or radio and TikTok. Not sure that we can go across all the platforms from there because the upload megabytes are a bit limited up there, okay? But we'll give it a go next Tuesday, okay? So should be here as usual next Tuesday, coming to you live from the Luxury Waterside Media Centre, aka the Rusty Old Caravan in Lincolnshire next week. Shania's she says, we have one of your clocks. I know you do, my darling. And it's still keeping time, isn't it? Keep changing that battery, girl. Weird City says, can I send a small parcel for you to Central Station? From Andy. Yes, you can. Do you want the address? Have you got the address? Have you looked it up? Eh? Oh, I wonder what that is. Right. Can I recommend you send it on something like a Wednesday or a Thursday so that it gets there on Friday? Because if it gets stuck in the office, it can get... I'll let you know, stuff does get lost in the office. I have had stuff lost before there. So, you know, I wouldn't send anything expensive. I don't actually have a post office address, I'm afraid. I used to have one years ago, but it became ridiculously expensive. So for the sake of receiving 5 letters a year, you know, it just wasn't worth doing, to be honest. You know, it's one of those things. But you can try if you want to, Andy. Thank you very much. Do you have the address? Mandy's there. Evening to Mandy. Mandy and Mick have just had their 7th grandson. Sorry. No, I beg your pardon. We are going to be grandparents for the 7th time. Grandson number 4. Congratulations. Fantastic. Fantastic. The more children in my life, the better as far as I'm concerned. You know, they think the same as me. Not adults, they're just boring adults. Hello to Natalie. Good evening, Natalie. Antonio, who is there. Good evening to Antonio. Welcome along, Antonio, my very good karaoke friend. Thank you. All right, welcome along. Ross Patel's with us this evening. Good evening, Ross. Sorry for the delay. We're a little bit busy here with messages. Ross says, good evening, dear. Just popped in for a bit. How are you in this heat? Well, I'm okay, actually, because coming back from Israel, it was hot over there, so I acclimatised while I was there. Do you have the air conditioning on in your room all night? Depends. I haven't done this year so far. I do in the afternoon, although not today. Not as much as I usually have it on, actually. But all night, not this year. I have had it on all night before. Me and Emily were just watching old 80s Kylie videos, and her conclusion was the songs are weird. Oh, dear me. What is it with young people, eh? They don't like anything we like, do they? I'm sure around here, if caught on an illegal scooter, they do take them and destroy them. That's what Ross says. He says, I think eventually scooters will be like a car and you will just have to be insured and checked yearly for working lights, brakes, just a simple scooter MOT test. I agree. If you're going to make them legal, they need number plates and annual checks and absolutely insurance. Absolutely. He says, I hate the illegal ones in Norwich, as most have no lights and it's hard to see when turning around, reversing, etc. But they're all made legal. But to have lights, etc., they are a great idea and a cheap way for people to get around instead of wasting thousands of pounds on driving lessons. Oh, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I know someone taking driving lessons, £45 a lesson. 45 quid, one lesson. It's outrageous, isn't it? Ross says 2 weeks ago I was turning around in the road in the dark and was inches from hitting someone who flew out of nowhere with no lights or bright clothing, and he was just invisible and shook me up for a minute or two. It was so close, but it was one of those legal ones. They all have working light. Was that a bike or a scooter, Ross? He says, I think they could be great use in the future for paramedics to get to people really quick and petrol free. They are fast. 15 miles an hour is fast. It's as simple as that. You know, Antonio hopes to get back to London and sing at the karaoke night soon. Thank you, Antonio. We look forward to having you there. We've got a lovely little crowd at the moment. Really nice little crowd there at the moment. Fridays always... Can I just adjust myself? Hang on a minute. I'm struggling with comfort tonight because I've got a bad back. Yeah, the Fridays always tend to be busier than the Saturdays, always. But there's a lovely little crowd. Lots of nice young people in there, all up for a good night. You know, yeah, it's going quite well. Thank you very much. And I know you like to make an annual visit there, didn't you? Roy says paramedics in Derby use e-bikes. Wow. Didn't know that. It was a scooter that Ross nearly hit, yeah. They do tend to come through all over the place. Hello to Derek Martin in Ireland. Hello, Derek. I don't know if you heard us this morning, but I forgot to tell you yesterday morning that I'm going to see Cinderella. That was our activity this week that we're doing. We're going to see the ballet Cinderella tomorrow night at the Royal Albert Hall with a nice meal before it. So looking forward to that. Derek says, good evening, Chris. It's doing heavy rain and thunder and lightning here in the Republic of Ireland. I was trying to fix my own watch before and I lost the hand off it. Oh, Mo, did you? They're such tiny pieces, aren't they? I was trying to fix my own watch. He lost the hand of it. Luckily, it wasn't an expensive one. Yeah, I wouldn't have a Rolex or something. What's all that about, eh? Why do you need something on your wrist that's like £20,000? Crazy people. I don't do jewellery in any way, shape or form. No jewellery. He says, regarding the going out for dinner in groups, I hate going with my work colleagues as they would be big drinkers and I wouldn't be, so my bill would be much less than theirs. Yeah, I don't go along with all this splitting of the bill at the end of the night. You know, I really don't. It's just doesn't work. You know, some people eat loads, some people drink loads, and it's not fair on the people that don't eat or drink much, you know. We'll just pop over to the thing now. Hello to Rebel Bert. You see me in my tutu? No, I haven't seen that. Charlie Wright. Hello, Charlie. Oh, Charlie, come on. You mustn't send me money, mate. He's just sent me a £1 tip. Thank you, Charlie. God, you're only like, well, how old are you now? 15, Charlie. Gosh, don't send money, mate. I'm gonna give that back to your mum when I see her. Don't send me money. Listen, mate, it's a sad thing when the only people sending me money are people under the age of 16. Thank you very much. You get a little jingle, though. I'll give that £1 back to your mum when I see her, if you're the right Charlie Ray. Are you Charlie Ray in Lincolnshire? Bless. I hope school's going all right, Charlie. Unless it's another Charlie, is it? I don't know, actually. Weird City's going to feign the address. Thank you very much. Wokingham, Janice wants to know. Wokingham, yes, it's not far from here, Wokingham. Actually, I used to play the organ at the church there, the Corpus Christi there in Wokingham. Hello to Oliver. Evening, Oliver. He was down to karaoke Saturday this week, weren't you? Sorry, I don't think we got to your third song. We actually got busy Saturday as well this week. Oliver says there's a scooter and electric bike showroom on Holloway Road. Now, that's handy. Right, let me write that down. Do you know the name of it, Oliver? Mick says 42 mile an hour. Jason Zafira doesn't go that fast. Yes. I was going to say this. I went to Audi either last night or the night before, I think it was, and one of the boys was sitting on the wall again, this time on his own without a scooter. He said, hello, mate, you got your scooter yet? I said, no, I'm still looking around at the moment. He said, I've just bought a new one. 70 mile an hour this goes. And immediately, you see, I don't think legally, right? I think of the person. These people, you know, they can't wait to chuck legal stuff. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I think of the person. And I'm thinking here, how old is this boy? 17, probably, 17. I said, oh, mate, listen, I said, look, I'm not bothered about police and all that. I'm thinking about you here. Please, have you got a helmet? No, I haven't got one. I lost it. I said, oh, for God's sake, man, 70 mile an hour without a helmet. You have at the very least, got to buy a helmet. And them other things, what you put on your elbows and your knees and your legs and all that business. At the very least, at the best, don't go above 30 mile an hour. Even 30 mile an hour on one of those things, you come off and break bits. I know younger people are not, you know, so much at breaking bits as older people. If we break something, it's a lot more serious, especially if you're in your 80s and 90s, you know, you fracture something or whatever, your bones break easily. But it's not the point. And I said to him, please, bud. And of course, and then two girls come along and he was off straight away, you know. You coming? You know what them girls are like. You coming or what? Yeah, I've got to go, mate. Bye. Off he went, towel between his legs, hoping probably to get off with one of the girls. But you see, I don't see, you know, I'm not one of those people like all these people on Facebook the other week. Where can I see an electric scooter? Oh, it's illegal. Oh, don't do that. You're getting it. No. I don't see that. When he said that to me, the first concern I had was his safety. But of course, he won't listen. We didn't, did we? He won't listen. Just thinking of his safety, really. Oh, well. Antonio says it's the first time I've seen you on here. Yeah, I do a little live show every morning, Antonio, 9 o'clock UK time. We're on British summertime at the moment, if that helps. Incidentally, you do know it's the longest day tomorrow, don't you? How quickly has that come around? Longest day tomorrow. Sunshine at all hours. And they start getting shorter again. Shame, innit? I just wish the weather could be sort of... or this temperature. Today has been particularly nice temperature all day. Not too hot, not cold. Lovely temperature today. I wish it could be like that all the time. People say, wouldn't you be bored with that? No, don't think so. I'm locked in my house because it's freezing cold outside and horrible. Don't like it. Yeah, so I do a show every morning. It's only on for an hour, Antonio, between 9 and 10. Music and chat. And the music tends to be dance music. Okay, Weird City, 1 o'clock as well. Is that right? Gosh, it's so long ago since we gave the clock some bits and pieces. Rebel Bert says, I can see you on a mobility scooter. Oh, Charlie Ray is 12. Oh, come on, Charlie, don't send me any money. I'll tell you what, when am I up there again? I think you moved, didn't you? I'll see if I can come up there with my... Oh, she's not up there next week, is she? You'll see my sister. And my niece is coming. I'll try and pop up with my sister again. Oh, maybe I can come over on my own or something. I always get confused. Who's your mum? Is it Kelly or the other one? I can't remember who your mum is. Maybe I can send her a message and pop over next week at some point just to see you and your little sister there. All right. There we go. You can't. Don't ever send me any more money. I'm angry with it. Can you see angry? Hello to Miles. Evening, Miles. There's another friend of mine who used to go out with my best mate years ago, who then became straight in Wandsworth. Miles says, watching you in the Canaries with Ashley. Hello, Ashley. I think I know Ashley. Yeah, I'm sure I know Ashley. I ain't seen him for years. It was about before pandemic I saw you. You used to come and sing at the karaoke as well, didn't you? Ashley. Just trying to remember what you sang now, Ash. Hello to you, a Central Station drinker. Glad you're enjoying the show there, Miles. You'll get bored eventually. Most people do, and they disappear. Kelly, that's your mum, isn't it, Kelly? Hang on here. I always think it's either Kelly or the other one. I always confuse their names. Right. I'll see if I can get over next week. I'm there Sunday, so Sunday night, probably Monday, Tuesday I'll be doing the show, maybe Wednesday. Are you at school at the moment, or are you on holiday? I can't remember. All right, boys and girls, we're going to play you another little song here, all right? Just a reminder, gang, those of you on YouTube and Facebook Live do see something different to the music we're playing. If you want to hear the proper music that we're playing, then just turn on your smart speaker, say Amazon Play radio station, reach on there, and you'll get the proper music. All right, my darlings?
I got an ache inside of me. It's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I seal it? You're like an ocean without land. Not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold, get warm. When you hold me, when you close. I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. the grave.
XO. My ace boom boom, no flex, no.
Reach on air.
Yeah, it certainly is. Just coming up to 9 minutes past 10. Thanks very much to Noah in Alderney Edge. Hello to you, sir. Some more updated song lyrics. He says, Dancing Queen, Friday nights and the lights are LED. Well, that doesn't match up, does it, to the tune at all? I think you need to go back to the drawing board with that. Tainted Love. Sometimes I feel I got to run for Parliament. They need to at least fit to the tunes. Dear me. But thank you anyway for your contribution to this evening's worldwide hitting show with millions of viewers all over the world. Hello to... Charlie's still at school at the moment. OK, Charlie. Fair enough. I'll see what I can do either next week or in a couple of weeks' time, and I'll come and see you all. Because I haven't been to your new house yet, have I? I haven't been to your new house. What's your new house like yet, by the way? Hello to EBTB Holiday. Brilliant show. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Watching you from Mexico. I nearly went to Mexico. I was on a cruise with my mate a couple of years ago. Oh, no. 15 years ago, at least. And we had a row on the boat. And we were supposed to go to Mexico for a week afterwards, and I came home. We laugh about it now. It's all right now, but, you know, it's just how it goes. Anyway, brilliant show, watching you from Mexico. Came back from the beach early to watch you on my YouTube. Really? Gosh, my husband says you're brilliant and enjoys your shows. Thank you very much. You're very kind of you to say so. It's funny you should say that on the you're watching on YouTube. When we was in Israel, in Tel Aviv, we couldn't, there was on the normal telly, there was no English speaking programs at all other than Fox News. This is Fox News, which we don't really think much of that, to be honest. But it did have YouTube on it. And Sky wasn't on there either. That didn't seem to be on the YouTube. But they did have GB News and Talk Radio, so we had that on every morning, which was great, really, because I watch GB News in the morning anyway. I quite like Eamon Holmes and his completely dry sense of humour, you know, so I quite like that. Anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying the shows. I've dressed up a little bit tonight. This is incidentally the only show I do now. At night time is the 2-hour show on a Tuesday night every week between 9 and 11 o'clock, all right? Hello to... Charlie says it's improved since we've moved. It feels like we've been here all our life. I'm glad you moved somewhere nice because I know your mum wasn't keen where you were, Charlie. And by the way, if your mum's there, I don't know if she's there. Hello, Kelly. And hello, Paige, as well. 10 past... And what are you doing up at 10 past bleeding 10 anyway? 13 years old. Outrageous. Should be in bed, unless you're in bed watching this secretly on a phone or an iPad, are you? Because if you are, right, us older people, we used to do exactly the same with radios. We used to have a little radio like that. It was called a tranny, a transistor radio. We called it a tranny, right? Different meaning these days, but forget about that for now. We called it a little transistor radio, and I used to go under the covers and turn it on and listen to the radio. And I had this other radio that I used to be able to listen to the television as well when Mum and Dad were downstairs. You never met my mum, but Mum, you're too young, aren't you? You would have my Mum and Dad would have loved you. They were lovely people, my Mum and Dad. So, good. All righty. Hello to Paul and Lou. Just finished packing for Black Glastonbury. Good luck with that. Rather you than me. I've said it before. No way I'd go to something like that. Not with those toilets. Thank you very much. Dear me. No toilet going on there. I don't like those portable toilets. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Janice. Janice says prayers for those on the Titanic sub. You know, it's just frightening, isn't it? You probably know the story, but there's this little sort of mini submarine type thing. And people have got on it, very, very rich people, incidentally. It was very expensive to go on there. I think my mate said it was something like £150,000 if you wanted to go on this thing. And the idea was you go in this like mini submarine down and down and down and down till you get to Titanic. Now, I don't know if I misheard the bloke on the radio tonight, right? He said it takes 10 hours to get down to where they wanted to go to. So this submarine starts going down. An hour and a half later, they lose communication with the submarine and haven't had any since. And they don't know where it is and what's happened. And you're watching this story unfolding and it's frightening. So many things could have happened already. You know. Listening to this bloke on the radio, I mean, I've got some of the story in front of me. The US Coast Guard in the Daily Mail has given the bleak warning that it may not be able to rescue the missing Titanic's tourist sub, even if it's able to find it. The Titan submersible has been missing since 9:45 a.m. on Sunday morning after being launched into the Atlantic at 8 o'clock. So it disappeared after an hour and a quarter, hour and 45 minutes. It's not long, is it? But the expedition company, Ocean Gate Expeditions, didn't notify the Coast Guard until 5:40 p.m. There's 5 people on board, including 3 wealthy tourists, and the submarine's oxygen supply is now just 40 hours, giving rescue crews until Thursday morning to find it before it runs out. But even if they find it, there's no certainty that it can now be safely brought to the surface, because you can't just pull these things straight up. You know, it takes a while. Your lungs go through this bubbling thing. I can't remember what it's called. The bends, isn't it? The bends. I mean, God. The bloke on the radio was saying they could already have frozen to death. And it's all very well having like 40 hours of oxygen on there, but they also need to be able to get rid of the carbon dioxide that we all breathe out. That's got to be able to leave the vessel somehow, you know, for little bubbles, for a hole or so. Well, maybe it's not being able to do that. The actual thing perhaps may not have survived the pressure of the water. It could have been crushed. Now, I don't know how it would be crushed. My mate said that's an instant thing. Suddenly it just goes like that. I'm more of the opinion that you would start hearing odd noises. And then it would sort of crush slowly. I mean, what an awful thing to be. Stuck in that thing. Oh, God, what a way to go. Awful. Mark's there. Thank you, Mark. You've been there all night, haven't you, Mark? Are you addicted to me? Is that what it is? Gary Ross says, I saw the news about the sub. It was an Xbox controller steered it. Yeah, apparently so. Some sort of games console is steering this thing. Christ almighty. I mean, there's a lot to be said for levers and springs, I think. I'm sure some of the blokes on here that muck around with cars all the times will tell you that. You know, I just, there's something about pulling a lever and then seeing that bit of metal move and that bit of metal, and then you know. With a wire, it's just different, isn't it? I don't know. But a horrible way to be there. I hope they do get them out. I must say, I'm not particularly optimistic about that at all. Weird City says, I can't imagine being trapped in a submarine. Terrible. We must find them quickly. Yeah. Hey, Charlie, I knew it. He's watching me under his bleeding bed sheets. Ain't ya? On a mobile phone or something, mate. That's why Paige or your mum hasn't answered me. Seriously, a lot of us older blokes, we used to listen to a little radio underneath underneath our bedclothes at night. I was a big time radio listener all the time. I used to listen to BBC World Service. I like the little tune they played before the news. It went da 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 da. There you go. Jason says there's no way of pulling them up. You'd need a 2-mile tow rope. I mean, like I say, the bloke on the radio said it took them 10 hours. It would take them 10 hours to get down to where they want to get down to. I mean, I sod that. I'd frighten the life out of me. But some people like that. They like to take risks, don't they? It's the same as the people that go up blooming Everest, knowing full well that many people have died going up there, but they want to achieve something, don't they? They know they're going to possibly die. Although I would imagine, that none of these people thought, well, you wouldn't go on something thinking that there's a chance that you're going to die, would you? You just wouldn't go on there. Vera says, I used to listen to the police on my radio at night. Yeah, I know there were some radios that, I think mine could do that as well. But I wasn't really interested in listening to the police or the airplanes or anything like that. You can buy certain radios. Amazon do a very, very good selection of radios and that. Like you can listen to aeroplanes and stuff like that. You going to bed, Charlie? Good night, Charlie. You better go to sleep now, otherwise you won't be able to concentrate at school. And eat all of the school dinner as well. Don't leave anything. I will find out. If you leave anything on that plate, now turn it off. Mark Bowles says, you can pull my lever. Thank you very much, Mark. Shall we open the phone lines? I don't know if I want to now. I'm quite happy just sitting here talking. I think we should have another song. Yep, let's have another song, boys and girls, here on Reach on Air. Now, where is it? So we were talking...
Crying your name.
Welcome back to the show, boys and girls. It's Chris Reardon with you on a Tuesday night. Reach on air. I think we got Fran Green just joined us there. Good evening to you, Fran. As a matter of interest, did any of you sort of used to listen to the radio at night under your bed covers or anything like that? And then, of course, eventually we got portable televisions. Who had a portable black and white telly when they was a kid in their bedroom? And that was that was a real thing, that was, having your own telly in the bedroom. I'm not sure that was the best thing to do, actually, when I think about it now, because that's where we started moving the family all away from one room, wasn't it? Once that started happening, you know, the family gradually over the years started doing their own thing in their own rooms rather than all sitting round the telly at night as one unit, which I think is split families apart. Not necessarily in a nasty way. It's just kind of happens naturally, isn't it? We've just opened the phone line, boys and girls. If you'd like to call in, there is a phone number you can call into. 020-8144-3477 is my local London number. All right, my darlings, 020-8144-3477. Would you like me to sing that for you? Here it is.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
There you go, Dino. CB Radio split me from my family. Good evening, Dino, in Carl Shorten. Yes, I had a CB radio. That was later on. You know, first of all, it was the little radio under the covers. Then it was the black and white TV. And then CB radio we used to have on. And I was on this for hours. I met my wife through CB radio at the time. Didn't last very long, but, you know, and many, many other people met up with people on CB radio. But it was a bit different then. I'm not sure what the conversations would be now, to be honest, Dino. You know, in those times, you know, how big's your aerial? Can you give me a rig check? How far am I getting out? And all that. Vera's on the line. Good evening, Vera, in the Thames television area. Good evening, Vera.
Good evening, Chris.
Ah, Chris Reardon. How are you tonight, love? All right?
I'm all good.
Thank you for your text there. I tend to agree with you. I think we'll just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yes.
Shh. Do you snore, Vera? I would imagine you're someone that snores.
We all do.
Shh.
Everybody snores, and if they say they don't snore, they're lying.
Oh, my mate does it. He had the audacity to record me snoring on holiday because it kept him awake, right? You want to hear the weird noises he makes? Sort of strange noises like that. So you used to listen to the police on the radio at night, did you, when you was little?
Yes, I did.
Did
you?
you?
I just found it fascinating. I used to know all the alphabet codes that the police uses. I used to know all of that.
Yeah, well, I would imagine you're someone that was.
Now.
I would imagine that you were someone that was well known by the police.
Not at that age, no.
Nicking sweets.
Out at night at that age.
Nicking sweets from the poor Asian man who had a shop round the corner. Outrageous you are. Outrageous.
Yes.
Ross is just...
I don't think I mean, to recap on what you said about family values, that when you got a portable TV in your room, then the idea of sitting around the table, having a meal with the family, it went downhill. I don't think it did. When I was growing up, I didn't get a portable TV until I was probably about 12, because my mother had won it in a raffle somewhere. I don't know how she got it, but she won it.
I'm sure that's earlier than I got one. I was a teenager.
You see, it wasn't just instantly given to us at the age of 10 or 12 or 8 or 9 or whatever, but it was well into my early teens when I got mine. And having a meal around the TV was not great fun for us, because if my father was in the house, then it would be guaranteed it would be either cricket
or
news.
Oh,
that was
how boring is that, cricket?
So
Oh, it's so
meal
boring.
time was over in a matter of seconds for all of us because we wanted to eat our food as quick as possible to get out of the room.
Yeah,
We
I'm
didn't
sure
want to
you
be
did.
in there with the...
Can I just read a couple of these
listening.
messages,
Oh, yeah,
Vera?
sure. By all means. By all means.
David Hudson. Good evening, David. Evening, David. He says the phonetic alphabet is easy. He can do it all, you see. He's very, very clever, is our David Hunt. That is with a H, incidentally, with a H there. Mark Bowles says he's done all sorts under my covers. Yeah, sadly not with me, Mark. Sadly not with me, but never mind. There's still time. Still time.
Yes.
Ross Pat's out. He says never listened under his bed covers at night. Wow, I can't believe that. But I did record the top 40 on Radio 1. And I
We
recorded...
all did that, yes.
Yeah, no, you had to push the pause button just before the the DJ started talking, didn't he? There we are. And he recorded Tommy Boyd on the original Talk Radio on a Sunday night from 11 till 1 a.m. When I should have been asleep as he had school on Mondays. He says, Donna kicks me saying, stop snoring. 2 minutes later, I'm wide awake and she is snoring like a pig in a field. Ross says, here, Vera, ready? My favourite caller is on. I can listen to Vera chat all night. Love her stories. Who is it?
Bless him.
Who is it?
Absolutely bless him.
We must say hello to
Sweet
Molly.
girl.
You know Molly, who's often here in the morning? She's with us tonight. Hello, Molly. Where's Molly?
Molly?
Where's Molly? I wonder where Molly is.
she?
Where is Molly?
Where's
She's
Molly?
here with us today.
Where's Molly? Where's Molly?
She's here with us today. Gary Ross says, I remember watching Hill Street Blues on black and white telly in my room. If you wanted to change channel, you had to twist a knob on the top of it. Yeah, you remember that, didn't you? God.
Yes.
Yeah.
No remote control back there. I was a remote control because I was the youngest in the family, so
Oh,
I
was you?
was the remote control.
And
You turn the TV over. Yep.
Dino-
I had to get up and turn it over.
Dino listened to police messages? Because, of course, I think, if I remember rightly, the police messages used to actually be on the FM. And if you went right up to the end of the FM, you could listen to them. But I think I think they're digital now. I don't think you can get them on radio at all now. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know. But I get the opinion that they're probably digital signals now that you can't get into unless you're like an expert in those sort of things. But, yeah. Anyway, carry on, Vera. We're listening.
Yes. So, yes, like I said, meal time was over and done with in a matter of seconds to get out of the room in order not to watch cricket, because I hate cricket. Even to this very day, I hate cricket. There's no way you can get me to sit down and watch cricket. No chance. And snooker. I don't like snooker.
No, another boring game. Unless the fellas have got nice bums and they bend over that table. Then that's okay.
Even so, I would not even be watching that for that reason. As you well know, that's not my cup of tea.
No, I suppose not. Why don't you get women snooker players? Why doesn't that happen? We got women... Sorry, we got women football now. Why haven't we got women snooker?
There are women snooker players, but it's like the women football team. It took a long while before it got televised.
Yeah.
And become popular. So it's something that needs to keep going before they could actually see it on TV. You got women dart players now.
Yeah.
That's televised on, I think it's ITV4, not on the mainstream channels. But,
Right.
But they are out there, and women pool players as well.
Well, I hope they wear
They are
long
around.
dresses when they're bending over that table. Oh, my God. We don't want to be seeing the Channel Tunnel, my love. Natalie doesn't like snooker. Natalie don't like the snooker. I can't find it boring.
If you've played snooker, I've played it once because I'm more of a pool player than a snooker player.
What's the difference?
have
It's all
to be
same.
at least-
It's all balls.
No, it's not the same.
Isn't
No.
What's the difference?
The difference is the tables are different sizes for a start.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay.
Pool tables are smaller than snooker tables.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And you have to be, in my opinion, you have to be a 6-foot player in order to play snooker, because there's no way. I'm only 5'5". And I cannot reach any of the balls of the snooker table. I can't.
I'm a midget too.
I'm too small.
We are midgets. We could have been in a remake of Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
I'm not a munchkin.
Huh? You
You're
are a munchkin.
smaller.
You are a munchkin.
I'm not a munchkin.
Munchkin. Are you offended? Be offended.
I'm not a munchkin. I'm not under 5 foot.
Do you have to be under 5 foot to be a munchkin? Someone check that on Wikipedia. We need to know the exact answer to that. Very, very important in this show.
Yeah, so I've got, one of my managers at work, she's under 5 foot.
Mm.
And because she's so short, I tend to, kind of knock her out a few times because I can't see her behind the door.
Is that something?
We've got a glass door at work where you can see people coming in and going, but she fits underneath the glass panel, which we can't see her, so she ends up getting knocked out by the door.
Do you know, I'm not really surprised at that. I can imagine that you go around beating up other women.
I don't go around beating up people.
Yeah. Is that something that you do?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. But Matt Joplin says, I play snooker. It's a great way to see what boxers the nice ones have on. See, we're just attracting... Can we move on from snooker? But we're just attracting perverts here now. This is the trouble. We want normal people. Exactly. I wish someone who comes to the church would ring in at some point as well, or send me a message. One or two of them are now on my... Yeah, I think so now.
What would they say about your programme?
My programme? I don't know. I don't know if any of them listen to it. I think my friend Dorothy has. She's lovely. Dorothy. She sadly lost her husband last year, but she's a lovely lady. I used to sit next to her, actually, before I started playing the organ there. Natalie says she likes bowling. You see, I'm sorry, none of these sports are doing anything for me. Paul and Lou say a snooker table is 12 foot. Weird City says pool is fun. I'm good at pool, yet I can't put a thing on the snooker table. And Paul and Lou, I see what I see about attracting pervs. They like the women's beach volleyball. Yeah, I bet you do. Watching those things bounce all over the... Oh, it's making me feel ill now. Oh, God. Bouncing things.
Let's move along from the sports
Please
department.
move along, Vera.
Move along from the sports department. We've eradicated the sports now. It's gone forever from your mind.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
We shall start this conversation as a brand new conversation.
Oh, well, I think we should play a jingle then. We'll play a quick jingle just to split it up.
Yeah.
Let's have a short one because we got new Reach on air jingles now. You see, and I like to get my money's worth. Just a minute, where is it? Let's play this short one very quickly. Here we go.
Reach on air. Reach on air.
Carry on.
And we've got new listeners too that's not heard your jingle.
There's no new listeners. We never get anyone new here. Janice says, I'm shocked that you're... Janice says, I'm shocked that you're not tall, Chris. You have a tall aura. I have a tall aura, apparently. Yeah, I'm about 5'7", 5'8", Janice. 5'7", 5'8", and 13 stone 8, which means I'm a fat person. I'm fat. I'm a fat person. I'm morbidly obese. I sit here in front of you as a morbidly obese. I've got a special camera here in front of me that makes me look thin. I'm a morbidly obese fat person. That's me.
Well, I'm about 5'5", 5'6".
Yep.
Because as I get older, we shrink. So I'm going to say 5'5".
What?
And I'm just under 9 stones.
I almost tripped over you the other day, as you well know, Vera. Tripped over her. Vera, where are you? I tripped over her.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. We got Mark J here as well tonight. Evening, Mark. Ross, are you on tomorrow morning? Ross says, I never paused when he was recording the Top 40. The presenter, I was more intrigued to hear the links in between the songs, and I completely understand that. You know, it's like when we used to listen to Tony Blackburn. We've got all sorts of subjects we're doing tonight, aren't we? When I used to listen to Tony Blackburn's 80s Soul Show on BBC Radio London in the 80s. It was 80s soul because it was the 1980s, wasn't it? Silly sod I am. And he was just such an entertaining person. Not like this lot now. This is, the time is. You know, I mean, it just none of these new DJs do anything for me at all. Some of them look really good, you know, but apart from that, it just don't really entertain me. Ross is doing a full week of shows this week. He says, oh, do make me laugh. I'm doing a full week this week. What, 3 shows? That's hardly if you want to do a full week of shows, can I advise you, have a little word with Dave Squires, DJ legend Dave Squires. Sing Along Dave, they call him. Sing Along Dave, he does a full week of shows. Practically
That's
3 hours
hardcore,
every
that
day. You do 3 hours in a week. Matt Joplin remembers David Jensen with the Network Chart Show. He used to love that one. David Jensen, you remember him? Kid Jensen it was called, wasn't he? Did he die?
Yes, Kid Jensen. I
Did he
remember that,
die?
yes.
I think he died, didn't he?
I can't remember now.
Kid Jensen? Let me have a look. Kid Jensen. And it wasn't that long ago. Let's try Wikipedia. Nope, I think I'm lying. He's 72. He's 72. Not
He's very
gone
much
yet.
alive then.
Oh, I hope he's not listening. Sorry, Dave, I've buried you before you've gone. I was going to say something then. I won't say it. I can't say it. No, horses wouldn't drag it from my mouth. Carry on.
No, I just wanted to ask you the question. Now that you know that...
No, I
Boris
don't lend
Johnson-
money to anyone. I'm sorry.
Boris Johnson was rolling out all the birthday honours or whatever and what have you. Did
Yes.
you get anything?
No, I get nothing. I get nothing. I never get anywhere. I will always be...
You're not...
I will always be stuck DJing in a pub or stuck at home doing an internet radio station or stuck at home doing a little video show. I never get anywhere. That's just how it is.
Were you not knighted? Were you
No.
OB or MB? Or
I've
nothing
never
like that
been
in the-
asked to
in the
drop down
honour
on my...
list?
I've never been asked to drop down on my knees in front of Prince Andrew or anyone else. Not even Mark Bowles, who incidentally says he is 6'2", size 12. Oh God, it just gets better and better, doesn't it? Eh? Mark Bowles, I'm 6'2", size 12 feet, and a pervert. Oh God,
Well.
it just gets better and better.
6'2". That's a long way to go.
That's a
isn't it?
nice size. I'd have to get on. I'd have to get on a little stool to be able to kiss him, wouldn't I?
Yes.
I'd have to get on.
Or
So
wear
I'd have to get
platforms.
a small set of step ladders.
Space hopper. That's
A
what you
space
need.
up. Oh, don't! I'd burst it with my fat bum. I'd go
No, you-
bang, and it would
you
go
take any
bang.
weight. I can tell you a little story about a space hopper.
Oh yeah. Don't
When
say
I
you sat
I
on one of those
celebrate-
and lost it. What?
No. I celebrated 25 years within the BBC, so
Right.
they decided, they gave me an option. They said, would you like to hold your 25th anniversary in the Top of the Pop studio?
Oh
Your party?" And I said,
wow.
yeah. So I had it in the Top of the Pop studio, and I said, what's your theme? What theme do you want? I said, oh, well, I want an 80s, 70s, 80s theme. So we had space hoppers, we had clowns, we had also everything from the 80s was in that studio.
So hang on a
Of
minute.
course we had alcohol.
Let me just get this straight. So you worked there for 25 years.
No, I celebrated 25 years. I've been there 28 years, but it's a 25th anniversary. So after 25 years, they gave you
So
a bunch of money and a party.
what? At the licence payer's expense?
I paid TV license as well. I didn't get it free.
Yeah, but we didn't get invited to the party. You had a party from the BBC at the
Yes.
expense of the licence payers. That's outrageous.
I paid for my own party because I paid license
What?
too.
What?
I
In the
never got-
top of the pop studio with lighting and electricity paid for me and everyone else listening to this show. It's outrageous,
I paid-
Vera.
No, it's not outrageous. I was there for 25 years. So you multiply the TV license by 25 years. I more or less covered the fee for that. Thank you very much.
Well, do you know what? I DJ'd at the Black Cat for 18 years. Do you know what they gave me as a leaving present?
Handshake.
A packet of biscuits. Tight-fisted bastards. A packet of biscuits, which I gave to my friend at the time. Someone I thought was a friend, but turned out not to be. There's plenty of those around. And he put it in a wooden frame, and I've got it downstairs. For 18 years service at the Black Cap. And they were foreign. They weren't even nice. It weren't like custard creams or something like that. They were foreign biscuits.
They
Awful.
must have had it. in their cupboard for quite a while, and they thought, who could we give this to?
Yeah, it's outrageous. We got another message from Mark here. You now look a bit hot and flustered. Yes, I am quite tall and slim. Oh, maybe I'll be in the swimming pool once and he'd turn up. Not in Speedos, though. Please don't wear Speedos. Why these blokes wear Speedos, I will never know. What do they look
just
like?
want to recapture their youth again.
Oh, God. There's only one person
But
that
that's
can...
what Ross Patzell wears that as well.
Oh, I can imagine that, yeah. That's the sort of thing he'd do. He'd be on a Ryanair flight to somewhere like Torremolinos, and then he'd get out in the morning, shove a towel on the thing, and come out there with Speedos on. Dear
God,
me. Eh?
That's Ross Patzell, no doubt.
Ross Patzell. I think he models himself on a Weeble. Do you remember Weebles? They wobble, but they don't fall down.
Weebles wobble, but they
don't fall down. That's Ross Patzell. He's here tomorrow morning, just after the 10 o'clock news.
Well, I'm hoping the Weeble will one day turn up at Central Station.
I wonder if we can find that. Shall we see if we can find a Weeble advert while I'm here live? Is that a wise thing to do? Is that going to be a copyright issue or not? I don't think so. Weebles wobble.
We've actually got Weeble toys in Sainsbury's.
Weeble toys?
Yes, it's Peppa Pig Weebles.
Weebles wobble commercial.
Weeble wobble.
Hang on a minute. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Farm. 39 minutes. 39 minutes. Oh no, 39 seconds. Let's try this. Hang on a minute, Vera. Let me see if this works or not. Right. Don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. Actually, I'll try.
Should be able to.
Right. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Willie Weeble. Today we're going to Weeble Farm in our new horse and cart.
Willie Weeble.
Hello, Farmer Weeble. Afternoon, Willie. Have you seen my new animals? Oh, look, Granny. They wobble just like us. Let's go, everybody. Oh, where's Wendy gone? Perhaps she's gone to the new Weeble paddling pool. There she is. Oh, there are lots of exciting new things in the wonderful world of Weebles.
Could you hear that or not?
Yes, I heard that, but I'm just slightly alarmed by Willie and Wendy.
Willie the Weeble!
And the Weebling together. That doesn't sound too good, does it?
Oh, God!
What
Oh, hang on a minute. Something else
for?
playing now. Why is that playing? What's happened? I've done something wrong.
Aeroplane.
Sorry. Yep, that's it. I've stopped it. Stopped it. I think it's another advert
see why
playing.
they
Oh, that's
don't,
right. Yeah, another advert.
They've probably got banned, no doubt. No, but the woke people will be after that.
Oh,
The
don't even
Weebles.
go there, my love. No, I just don't bother with it anymore. I never comment. If I see something stupid and woke on the Facebook, if it's under one of my posts, I'll simply remove it and say nothing. Because I just get sick to death of stupid posts. Sick of them. I just remove it and say nothing. If I see something on the internet, I don't need to make a comment. I'll just go over it. Move on to the next thing. Don't need to comment on stupidity. And God knows we're surrounded by idiots in this world now, aren't we? Ross says for 20 years service at Tesco's, he got a £300 gift card. Got nothing at 25 years. He's now been there 26 years this week. I think 40 years is the next milestone. You get a £500 voucher. That's not to be sniffed at.
How come you didn't get anything for 25 years? You could get something for every 5 years.
Don't know. Perhaps you should ask Ross. Have you typed it into Google? What do we get for working at Tesco for 25 years? Shall I type that in and see what happens? What do I get for working at Tesco's for 25 years? One moment, please.
Well, I got.
Oh, no.
£50.
He's quite right. The next milestone is 40, which is.
Well, I got.
Well,
50,
hang on. Just a minute.
£50.
It says here the next milestone at 40 years is £1,300, Ross.
Who's going to be there for 40 years?
Yeah. And it
Who's
also
there for
said
40 years.
there's something here on Mumsnet that says they get £250 for 25 years. Maybe they forgot, Ross, because let's face it, your shows are very forgettable. You know, perhaps your work at Tesco is as well, my love. Huh? Have you noticed when Ross says, "Oh, I record all shows and all this," he says he records my shows and Tommy, but he never says he records his own shows.
Oh my God!
I was saying this the other day, you know, if me and Ross was on like an independent, like local radio station or something like BBC or something, we wouldn't be able to allowed to lay into each other like this. People, why are you so horrible to each other? Because we bleeding well know each other. That's why. Weird City says that tune was different to our Remember. The Weebles one, Weebles wobble but they don't fall down. Mandy, she had a space hopper. It was bright orange. A bright orange space hopper. Rebel had one? Going up and down? I bet you like that, didn't you, Rebel? I see you on the karaoke, watching the karaoke there. Yeah. Anyone else have a space popper? Space hopper? I beg your pardon.
Hopper.
Space hopper.
Space hopper.
Weebles. Willie the Weeble. God. Mark reckons we should have a Reach Awards show. I don't think so, Mark. I'd just win everything, really, wouldn't I?
Well, listen,
I'm so naughty
I'm going to have to
tonight.
love you and leave you because I'm sure someone else would love to capture the last 10 minutes.
Oh, you're joking, aren't you, my love? No one else is going to call in now. It's very
Well,
few
Ross
and
might
far
wanna call in.
between. Ross might call in. Well, if you call in now, you can be on the phone for about 5 minutes, roughly, because we always have to finish with a song. Otherwise, it doesn't quite work out because we're on so many different platforms at the same time. Yeah, Ross says, every show I've ever done is on my hard drive. I listen back to my shows on my evening walks. It's wonderful hearing myself. I mean, how sad is that? God's sake, man.
Somebody got to listen to him.
Pleasure talking to you, Vera.
All right, I'll catch you soon.
Cheerio. Bye-bye now, my love.
Take care
Bye-bye.
now. Bye.
Here we are, Vera from Vera's Choice in the morning. She'll be selecting another song for us tomorrow. If you want to call in very quickly, though, we've only got a few minutes to talk. It's 020-8144-3477, my local London number, 020-8144-3477. But you'll have to be very, very quick because we're nearly out of time. We want to play a music, a little tune at the end as well, all right? As well as I think I might play a little jingle now. Where's my jingles gone? Where's my jingles gone? Here we go.
Chris Reardon on Reach on Air.
Mark J says I should get a scissor lift. What's a scissor lift? I don't know what that is, a scissor lift. more like, do you mean a stanner lift, I wonder? Maybe a stanner lift or something like that. Hello to Chloe's mum. Hello, Chloe's mum. She loves the karaoke shows, don't you, that we do every Friday and Saturday. It's very good, isn't it? We've got a lovely changeover of people going on at the moment. And different people are joining us as well as our regulars. Oh, some people were asking about Roy, lovely Roy. I did ring him the other day, and he's simply, I think he's 80 now, over 80 years old, and he simply has just stopped coming out a little bit. Okay, that's the only reason for that. That's why you're not seeing Roy. All right, my darlings, now let me just double-click something so I know how long I've got left. Where is the timing thing? Oh, there it is. Show length. What have I got? There it is. That's got to click that there, haven't I? 7:10. I like to get that right. Yep, Chloe's mum in the house. Hello to you. Gary enjoyed your phone call there, Vera. So any more messages, send them in nice and quickly, my darlings, and we'll get those to those. One of the things I was going to do today was the UK's worst and best seaside resorts. But to be honest, I think we've kind of run out of a little bit of time to do that at the moment. All right, my darlings. So there we are. Now, British sunbathers have been warned. You've been warned, boys and girls. Now, I've got at the moment a rather nasty bite on my leg, which has happened here because I had a couple of bites in Tel Aviv. Obviously, we're all walking around in shorts and things like that. Ross is bored now. Bye. Yeah, glad to see the back of you, to be honest, Ross. Taking out all my messages here this evening. Very, very lot of messages. Can you not restrict yourself to one message per hour, if possible? He'll be with you tomorrow after the 10 o'clock news here at Reach on Air. Yeah, and I've got this rather large bite on my leg at the moment. It's starting to go down now. And do you know, I took this cream on holiday with me to Tel Aviv, and I'm putting it on my leg, and it appeared to work to some extent, stop the itching anyway. And for some reason, I looked at the sell-by date on it. Do you know, it's 5 years out of date, and it was still working. 5 years out of date, this bike cream was. Anyway, I bought some new cream in Boots this week, and that seems to do the job quite well there. Yes, the Daily Star is reporting there is a Dracula horsefly, which are immune to insect repellents. That we're being eaten alive, dear. Eaten alive. Swarming over us while we are sunbathing in the current heat wave this summer. And there's a close-up picture of these things. God, they're ugly. Not as ugly as some of the people I see walking around Bracknell sometimes, but they're horrible things. Hordes of Dracula horseflies immune to insect repellents are swarming on sunbathing British people with killer fangs. Yeah, a cocktail of hot weather and sudden downpours is bringing loads of these things to life, unfortunately. Their fangs can leave victims with skin infections, including cellulitis. I think I've got that on my bum, to be honest, cellulitis, that require hospital treatment. At worst, they can send allergy sufferers into potentially fatal anaphylactic shock. So be very careful out there. Be very, very careful out there, all right? And one final message from Mark says, I have a space hopper, but she left me a year ago. I wouldn't leave you, love. I wouldn't leave you. You know, and if I ever step out of line, Mark, you just whack me a couple of times, my friend, and I'll be very happy with that. Very happy. Anyway, time to go. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show. Next week, I will be at the Luxury Waterside Media Centre, i.e. the rusty old caravan up in Lincolnshire. I will try and do the show from up there, but I'm a little bit concerned about the bandwidth up there, which isn't as good as it is here, obviously, all right? So I will try and be with you next Tuesday night. I'll be back here at Reach On Air tomorrow morning, just after the 9 o'clock news. Mr. Dave Squires is with you straight after me, after the 11 o'clock news this morning. And I'll leave you with this one from Mark Knight and Beverly Knights, featuring the London Community Gospel Choir.